Welcome once again to Uprise Your Life. My name is Moises Ramirez, and now we also have video. And I don't know about you, but I'm excited. And we are ready. I am ready. You are ready for another episode of Uprise Your Life. And as always, we are here to help you do better in life. As the name says, Uprise Your Life in every area possible. I don't only focus on your mindset, although it's a big part of it. I also focus in your spirit. I focus also in your body, your finances, relationships, etc., etc. As a holistic being that we are, it's very important to be healthy in every area. To be healthy as a whole, because if one area is not healthy, the other areas are going to suffer. And well, today I am going to be talking about relationships. Not necessarily into like a emotional relationship, between a boy, a girl, a man, a woman, but any kind of relationship that you may have. You and your boss, you and your parents, you and your spouse or your girlfriend, you and your kids, etc., etc. Any kind of relationship that you are involved with, this is going to help you a lot. Why? Because I'm going to be talking about how to have better conversations. It's something that I have struggled a lot in the past. I'm guilty as charged of most of these points that I'm going to give you. In the past, I used to pretty much fail at all of them, But, well, as time progressed, as time went by, I've realized that, hey, I'm becoming better. I've studied, I've read a couple of books on the subject. And well, I just want to pass that information on to you. I'm going to give you 10 tips that will help you to have better conversations, whether it's your, a family member, a friend, your boss, your kids, etc., etc., etc. So, before I start, I want to say thank you to all the people that are listening to this episode. I mean, my bad. Well, yeah, to this episode, but also to this podcast as a whole, Uprise Your Life. Now I have people listening in India. I have people listening now in Jamaica as well. And that makes me excited because the word is running, it's just traveling the world. Thank God for technology. Thank God for internet. Thank God for smartphones. So if you're listening on your Android or your iPhone or your computer or whatever app you're listening in, thank you very much for supporting this. And, I would really appreciate if you share it with your friends, with your family, or anyone that you think that might benefit or, get something good out of it. You are going to learn a lot. So I advise to take your time and get some notes going. You can do it on your phone, or if you got, old school pen and pencil, wow. Pencil and paper, pen, whatever. Do it. But for now, I'm just gonna jump right ahead again. Thank you, everybody, for listening to this podcast, Uprise Your Life. And let's jump. I'm gonna give you some more information at the end, how you can contact me. But for now, let's just focus and jump right into it. I'm gonna give you 10 tips how to have better conversations, and then at the end, I'm going to give you a bonus per se. I'm going to give you, because I'm going to tell you how to have better conversations, but many of you, like I was in the past, I didn't even know how to start conversations at all. So I'm going to give you that as a bonus at the end, how to start conversations and obviously how to improve them. So number one, let's just jump right into it. Number one, how to have better conversations. This might be a given. You might already know it, but sometimes we know it, but we don't do it. Focus. Number one, you have to focus. Some of these are very self-explanatory. So focus, what do I mean by this? Well, give the other person all of your attention. All of the attention. If they are talking to you, give them all your attention to them. Pay attention. Put down your phone. I mean, if you're on the TV or something, stop what you're doing. Stop multitasking and just focus on the person that is talking to you. Okay? Besides the fact that it's kind of disrespectful. I mean, if somebody's talking to you, you know, again, most of this is personal experience. And even today I struggle a little bit. Somebody's talking to me, and I sometimes I tend to be on my phone, and I'm like, yeah, texting. And obviously we say, oh, I'm paying attention, but it's not, our whole attention is not there. So I know it feels a little bit disrespectful for the other person that you're not paying their full attention, you know? It happened to me a few weeks ago. I was talking to a friend, and, we were having a good conversation. We were across the table, we were eating, and amazing conversation, having, fun, cracking up some jokes and whatnot. All of a sudden, he grabbed the phone and just away he went. He entered into another dimension, started texting, responding voice messages. I was like, really, dude? Like, I'm talking to you. And then watching videos, and I'm like, I'm in front of you. Like, the heck? Didn't even warn me. Didn't even say, oh, give me a minute. Let me answer to these. No, just pick up his phone. Saw something interesting. Haha. And started just pay attention to his phone. And I felt left out. I felt like a third wheel. I felt like, okay. And then I understood how it feels, whenever you do that. I understood how people feel whenever I do that for them, They're talking to me, they want me to pay attention, and I'm just like doing something else on my phone or watching TV or necessarily not doing anything, but you're like not looking at them on the eye. You're like looking at somebody else, people walking, or, So number one, focus. If you want to have better conversations, give all your focus. Just focus, pay attention. Stop what you're doing and listen to what they have to say. All right? It's a given. Number two, don't be condescending. Again, me personally, I used to be that guy. I mean, very, very condescending. So don't just tell them how much you disagree with them, because we tend to do that as human beings. We tend to let them know, hey, bro, I don't agree with you. You are wrong. You suck. You don't have the right facts. Blah, 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 blah. And we are sure to tell people how much we disagree with them. But please, that's number two. Don't be condescending. In other words, also point out things that you agree with them. Also give a full holistic feedback. Don't just focus on how much you disagree with them, how angry you are, how disappointed you are at them, but also in the things that you agree with them. Let them know. Affirm them. Make them feel like they are accepted. Make them feel like they are actually being heard, and not just talking to a wall or talking into thin air. So that's number two. Don't be condescending. Don't just tell them how bad they are doing. Or to make it easy, don't just point out the negative points. Also bring up the good points, the good facts, like, oh, wow, I really like the way you did that. Or remember that night or something. So in other words, don't be condescending. Don't just push them down. In this planet, everyone is just pushing everyone down. So I think we need to make this planet a little bit better. So instead of being condescending, just be positive. Speak life into the people around you, especially if somebody's talking to you, is telling you their dreams, their passions, their secrets, their day, as simple as it might be. They're telling you how their day went, and you're just condescending and you're like, nah, whatever. You know what? It doesn't really matter. My day was worse. Don't be condescending. Okay. Again, I used to be that guy. Oh my gosh. Now I know. So, anyways, let's jump into number three. You want to have better conversations, you're going to have to start using open-ended questions. Yep. Don't just ask, so did that make you feel angry? Or, hey, did that make you feel happy? Are you happy now? Because it's going to go two ways. Yes, no, or actually maybe like, I don't know. But you're going to get nowhere. Instead, open the conversation, expand the question, and say, hey, so how did that make you feel? That is an open-ended question. Like, it's going to have to make the person think. And now they're going to have to be like, wow, you know what? Well, I felt a little bit mad, a little bit angry because of this and that and blah, 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 blah. Rather than, oh, so did that make you feel happy? Or are you going to the store? Yes. No. Use open-ended questions. And now again, I'm just passing you the info like I'm learning as I'm learning in life. I don't have life figured out. I'm still learning how to do. This is one of the hardest actually for me to actually do open-ended questions because all my life I was just like a yes or no, black and gray, black and white, my bad. And then I realized there's a lot of gray areas in life. So use open-ended questions, instead of like, I don't know, even if you like a girl, or if you're a lady, you like a boy, a man, it can get a little bit tough sometimes, So use open-ended questions, not just like, oh, so do you like burgers? How about, hey, so what's your favorite food? How about what's your favorite restaurant to eat here in town? Or, hey, I'm new here in town, I would like to eat something delicious. What would you recommend? Instead of, so restaurant so-and-so, yes or no? Use open-ended questions. That is going to open the window, it's going to open the door to have a better, more rich, expanded conversation. So that's number 3 for you. Number 4, go with the flow. Go with the flow. Because new ideas and thoughts are going to come to mind as you are talking. Either the person that is talking to you, and even when you're listening, new ideas are going to come to you. And at the same time, whenever you're speaking, it's your time to talk back. New ideas are going to flow. And I'm not saying to have a pen and paper, to just keep track. Sometimes I do it. It's very useful. But just go with the flow. Don't be so stiff to like, we're talking about water. Why are you talking about soda now? Don't be like that. Go with the flow. Be like water. Water takes the shape of whatever cup it's into. Like right now, I'm drinking water. So be like water, Take the shape of the conversation. Just go with the flow. I know you started talking about water, but somehow the whole conversation shifted into talking about wine. Go with it. Go with it. Be wise. Be smart. Be open-minded. Go with the flow. Okay? Recently, I had an amazing conversation over the phone. Someone called me and, they asked me something, very specific question. So, how about this? Would you consider so and so and so? And I was like, I had a very specific question. A very specific answer. And I just went with it. But then I noticed how the conversation shifted, how the other person, understood something deeper, went with the flow, new ideas flew, they came to mind, and then bam, the whole conversation shifted. And it was beautiful because we were on the phone for about 45 minutes. And a call that I was not even expecting at all, a person that I have never talked to in my life. It was an amazing, amazing phone call. But because, we went with the flow. We didn't just stick to the plan. Oh, we're going to talk about this. So anyway, that's your number 4. If you want to have better conversations, just go with the flow. Be smart, be wise. Don't be so tough, be so rough. Like, oh, God, I'm gonna stick to this topic. I'm not going to change. And also, if you're going to change, don't be so bam, rough to change. Just go with the flow. Go smooth. Number 5. Okay. If you don't know it, just say it. This is a given. This is so easy. You don't have to know everything. Don't pretend to know something. Don't fake until you make it, basically. So if you don't know something, say it. What? I don't know it. I used to be the guy that I have to know everything. I'm Mr. Know-It-All. And even if I didn't know something, I'll just make up stuff right there and then. And basically, I will start to lie. It's never a good idea. If you don't know something, just say it. I'm sorry, I don't have my facts right on this subject. I don't know much about that. How about we talk about this other thing, or let's figure it out ourselves. What do you think about it? Because I honestly don't know. So don't feel pressure that you have to know it all. There's no pressure. You have nothing to prove to anyone that you know it all about whatever subject you guys are talking about. So anyways, number 5, if you don't know it, just say it. Number 6, don't make it all about you. I mentioned a little bit in point number 2. Don't make it all about you. If they tell you something that happened to them, don't try to balance the situation. Don't try to bring it down to your level. I'm like, oh my God, that also happened to me. And I know we try to be sympathetic, and that's okay, but there's a way to do it. Hey, how you doing? I'm doing sad because my doggy just passed away. And I'm like, man, I had him for 5 years. And then you just throw him a curve. They're like, oh my God, you know what? My dog died too. And I was able to get it over with, Dude, it's not about you. Don't make the conversation about you. A book that I read, How to Win Friends, How to Make Friends and How to Win Friends and I don't even know. I forgot the name of the book. How to Make Friends and Have Influence over People or something like that. Basically says that nobody wants to talk about the other person. Everybody feels compelled to talk about themselves, because I know we are kind of selfish in our human nature. But if somebody's talking to you, the conversation is started, you go with them, go with the flow to talk about them. That will make them feel accepted. That will make them feel important. That will make them feel that you actually care for them, you know? And it's not about being fake. You know, I tell people, I give them a lot of compliments and like, all right, quit with all that. I don't remember the word, but I'm like, bro, I'm being legit. I'm giving compliments. I'm not trying to be, flatter you or like being fake. I'm honestly legit giving you compliments. That's what I decided to do with my life. Compliment people, exalt people. Because at the end of the day, we're a creation of God. So God is in me, God is in them. You know what? It's like, I'm not going to be condescending to you, and I'm just not going to make it about me. If you're telling me something that happened to you in the day, let's talk about it. So you want to have better conversations? Don't switch the conversation back to you. It's not about you. Now, if they ask you, if they are open to hear about you, then okay, go with it. But don't just throw it out there. Oh, that actually happened to me, and the way I felt and the way I did it, please. Don't make it about you. So, make it about them. Number 7. Don't repeat yourself. I do that a lot. That's like, wow. Anyway, I was just having a conversation. I was on the phone 2 nights ago. It was a pretty long call. And it was kind of late. And the internet connection was failing. I was sending voice messages or videos. I don't even remember. And like, oh, you're cutting off. And I was like, oh my gosh. Call them via internet, like a video call. And the call was like just dropping, and I was just repeating myself a lot, and I didn't know if they were listening to me, the whole thing that I was saying, until one point the other person said, you're repeating yourself a lot. And I'm like, I know, it's because the connection. I don't know if you heard me in the first place or not. So don't repeat yourself. That's number 7, because it could give, number 1, it could give a bad impression on them. They kind of feel stupid, like, are you like, you think I'm dumb, that I can't understand what you're saying, that you have to repeat yourself 5-6 times? But also, it can make the conversation pretty boring. Whenever you repeat the same thing 2-3 times, already it starts like, have you ever heard a joke, the same joke, like 3 times? There's always that friend that always has that same joke and always says that joke everywhere, anywhere, to anyone. And you heard that joke like 5 times. That's pretty. It just loses its value. It loses the fun, because you are hearing that joke over and over and over. So the same thing. Whenever you repeat yourself, the conversation can get pretty boring. Anyway, number 8. Focus on the way. Focus on the why and not on the what. Or focus on the who, but not on the what. It's all about the why, and it's all about the who, the how, but the what is the last thing that matters. What do I mean by this? People don't care about little details. I mean, I have a friend that he likes to give amazing, he can tell you like a 30-minute TV show, and he can like recap you in 3 hours. That 30 minutes in 3 hours. Because, oh my Lord, he can give you the details. And I like, bro, I don't care if the car was white. I don't care if the cup was a mug. I don't care if her name was whatever. What happened? Tell me what happened. So focus on the why, focus on the who, but don't focus on small little details. It doesn't really matter unless it actually matters. You're talking about it, but it's the same thing if it happened on a Friday or if it happened on a Saturday. If your end goal is to talk about your friend that, I don't know, went to the hospital because he fell. I don't know. You know what I mean? Some details don't really matter. So please stay focused, stay centered on what really matters. Time, days, names, colors. Sometimes they really matter. It doesn't matter if it was a decaf coffee or a full Colombian super strong coffee. If you're not even going to talk about coffee, you're going to talk about your vacation. So, stay focused, because little details like that, they kind of make the story less interesting. And again, people, whenever you are telling your story, people care about you. What happened to you? Why you ended up doing whatever you did. They don't really care about what the little details, if you went on a black pickup or you drove a red bike. Again, sometimes little details like that matter. If you're gonna talk about, hey, I had an accident in my car. Which car? Okay, it was the white car. Remember the Infinity? Blah 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 blah. But most of the time, little details don't matter. So stay focused on what really matters. Number nine, listen. This is also a given. Listen to understand, not just to reply. Many of us like to talk or have conversations just to reply, just to be condescending, just to shut him off, just to prove him that I'm right, just to prove him that I'm better, that I know more. But whenever you're listening to someone talking to you, listen with the intention to understand their position, to understand where they're coming from, and not only with the intention to reply. Again, it's not about you. Make it about them. People are really going to appreciate that, and then you're going to become a friend to them, and they're going to be wanting to talk to you whenever it matters the most, So again, listen with the intention to understand, not just with the intention to reply. That's an easy one. Number 10, be brief. A good conversation is like a miniskirt, short enough to retain interest, but long enough to cover the subject. Whoa. Yes. Be brief. If you're going to have a conversation, especially if it's on the midday or you are at work or whatever, and even if you actually have the time to have a long conversation, just try to be brief. Be like a miniskirt. A good conversation is like a miniskirt. It's short enough, kind of short enough to retain interest. Like, I like that. Mira, wow, cool. But at the same time, it's long enough to, to cover the subject. You know what I mean? So a conversation that's going to be short, make it short enough to retain interest. Don't go into small little useless details. Keep it short, keep it brief, straight to the point, but at the same time, long enough to cover the subject, the intention of why you're having that conversation. Don't just talk for the sake of talking. I hope you understood that. It's a pretty cool analogy. And now I'm going to give you the bonus. I'm going to give you the bonus because many of you be like, okay, I get the point. I get the idea how to have better conversations. Okay, I have to focus. I have to give the other person my attention. I don't have to be condescending. I have to actually, make positive comments about them, about the conversation. I have to ask open-ended questions, not just a yes or no question. I have to go with the flow. If the conversation changes, I go with it. If I don't know something, I'll make sure to say it that I don't know it. I'm cool. I have to not make it about myself, but it's about them, and not repeat myself because that makes it boring. And also have to focus on the why and focus on the who, not just on the little small useless details, the what. And obviously I have to listen with intention to understand them, not just to reply and give my point of view, and obviously be brief. But some of you are wondering like, well, okay, I get it, how to have better conversations, but my problem is I don't even know how to start a conversation in the first place. And it can be very challenging. But I'm just going to give you my the bonus. It's a method that I learned a few years back. And it really works. Sometimes it doesn't, but hey, it is what it is. It's not up to you. It's up to the other person. Maybe they're having a super rough day. Don't feel bad. So I'm going to give you the Ford method. It's called the Ford method. Ford, F-O-R-D. Letter F, letter O, R, and D. Fourth method. Each letter, it's a word that you can talk about these things. Number one, letter F. You don't know what to talk about? Family. That's the most basic thing to talk about. Talk about family. So how's your parents? Or are you married? Are you, I don't know, are you new into the city? You have any friends? And also in family, you can include friends. It's also the same letter, friends. I don't know, are your parents okay? Oh, wow, I heard you mention about something about your grandmother in the hospital. Is she okay? Always point to make it about their family. Don't be like, some people are really, really conscious about it. And like, there's like a wall, like a line. Don't cross it. But for the most part, like I said, it works. Hey, how you doing? You have a family? Oh, yeah, I have 3 kids. Oh, really? That's so nice. How old are they? And just go with the flow. Again, remember, just go with the flow. family. Some people, again, have suffered rough upbringings and they don't want to talk about family. Okay, that's cool. Then move on to letter O, occupation. So what do you do for a living? I heard that you just moved to this city because of work. What do you do? Oh wow, you're an engineer? That's awesome. You know what? My kid wants to be an engineer. I don't know. Go with the flow. So letter F, talk about family. If it don't work, letter O, occupation. What do they do for a living? Everybody does something, And again, if it doesn't work, move on to letter R, recreation. I guess everybody's bound to have this. Recreation, so what do you do for fun? What do you like to do? You like sports? You like basketball? Or you don't like basketball, so you like technology. That's awesome. How about art? Music? Some people don't like sports at all. Obviously, here in Texas, I'm like, everybody loves the Cowboys, so there's always something to talk about. Recreation. What do you do for fun? What do you do on your time free, on your time off? Oh, well, I like to go fishing. Oh, you like to go fishing. Why? So, it always works, man. F, family. O, occupation. R, recreation. And if it fails, we all have an amazing mind that is always dreaming. That's letter D, dreams. Talk about their dreams. So, what is your perfect vacation? I know you're always busy working, but what would be your amazing spot to be on a vacation for 3 weeks, 2 weeks? What is that place looking like in your mind? Oh wow, you know what? Whenever you start developing, whenever you start stirring up the emotions and our dreams, it helps us to dream and go bigger and go higher. Again, one of these has to work, So dreams, I ask somebody so what's your perfect vacation spot? And they're like, well, it would be some lake, natural spring lakes with hot water and just beautiful and nature and etc. etc. I was like, that's very interesting. And in the past I would be like, oh, I hate those places. I actually like big cities. But remember, don't make it about you, make it about them. And I just started, oh my god, I think I found the perfect place. And I send them a little spot vacation in the map, and they're like, oh my god, that looks pretty, yeah, that actually looks nice, yada yada. So the conversation starts to flow, and then you can create a bond of friendship, and just go with it. So one of these tends to work: family, occupation, recreation, or dream. Ford. And I doubt that all of them are gonna fail, and if all of them fail, then just move on into somebody else. Again, might be that the person is having a rough day, it's just not gonna work, you're not gonna be able to break the wall, but that's okay. It's not up to you. You did what you could. Some people are just having a rough day. We never know what they are going through. Okay? So that's it for today. That is it for today. Again, I just want to say hi, and I just want to send a big shout out to the people in India and the people in Jamaica that are listening to Uprise Your Life. I am so honored that you guys are listening and are constant listeners. And if you want to reach out to me, you can send me an email at iamaheromaker@gmail.com. Again, iamaheromaker@gmail.com. You can find me on Facebook exactly the same way. I am a hero maker actually on Facebook, I want to be the only one. Instagram, the same way. I am a hero maker. You can send me an email, you can send me an inbox, a direct message, and I'll be sure, to respond to you. But then again, thank you very much for being part of this podcast, of this community that it's still kind of baby, still growing. But that's the good thing. It's growing. And just want to say that again. Stay tuned for the next episode. And there's a lot of things going on in my life right now. And I can't wait for what's coming up. Remember that this podcast is the first time that I'm doing a video also. So you can go to YouTube and find me also on YouTube. I am a hero maker. That's gonna be my channel. You can find me there and you can see this video. If you want to put a face to this voice that you've been hearing the podcast, and you're like, how is this? You want to see the face of this boy? Well, you can do that on YouTube. Again, thank you very much for your support. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you very much for your attention. I hope to see you next time on Uprise Your Life. Remember, everything you do in life, always make sure is taking you to a higher level, to a higher dimension. Ciao, ciao. See you next time.